And it is Saturday night and streaming to you live from the beautiful state of Colorado. It is the Potter Girls podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, take it away. Oh, I don't know what that meant. See, this is what happens when I don't have my pen. I just totally mess up your thing. I don't have my script or anything. So whatever. It's Christy and Bobbie. I ruined your show. I'm so sorry.
Get out of here, Dave.
All right. Go ahead, ladies. Take it away.
Thank you, Dave. Hi, Bobbie. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks. Just finished dinner with the boys. They're in a mood today, so it's kind of nice to be able to hide in the room and not have to deal with it.
I get that.
And then your brother gets to deal with it instead. So,
absolutely.
First, for our listeners, I'd like to apologize for changing the date on you again. We had the Scholastic Book Fair at my school this week, and Thursday night was my shift. So we had to move it to Saturday, and I didn't do any event or any kind of let anybody know what was happening. So I think we are going to take just a wee little bit of break after the next episode. We have something very fun planned for the next episode. Then we'll take a little break. I can get recharged. We can get organized and get maybe some new pictures, because I'm running out of pictures to do for our Facebook page. So, but today, Bobbie, we are going to talk about our top 5 favorite albums. But first, let's catch up on the news. Have you been following any news stories lately?
The one that I saw this morning that made me sad was that Olympia Dukakis died.
I saw that.
Yeah. She was awesome. She was a feisty old broad, and I love that about her.
A feist, yes.
And, her and Cloris Leachman, man, they were feisty old broads, and we lost them both this year, which makes me sad.
And well, I guess 2021, like calendar year, or last 365 days?
No, since 2021.
Okay.
Cloris Leachman died in January. I want to say January or February. I can't remember for sure now, but yeah, very sad. But other than that, I know this is old news, but it's been a while. Derek Chauvin, thank God, found guilty. I know that there's still a lot of work to be had, and it's a drop in the ocean. Really, it's not even a drop in the pool; it's a drop in the ocean. But hopefully, it's going in the right direction.
Well, it's the first high-profile conviction I've seen in my lifetime on a case like. So I agree. It was good to see that the right decision had been made. It's sad to see. I guess everybody gets a minute to celebrate. We certainly should celebrate that there was justice in this case. But I mean, you're right. I mean, the work has only just begun, and we I follow a lot of different creators. I'm trying to diversify who I follow, so I'm getting more people of color. And they
on the TikTok.
On what? TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of it. TikTok's good because it's so fast. You can post something and someone sees it immediately. But they just want us to know that there's a lot of work to do and to continue fighting the fight and stand up for when you see something happening, which might be hard for some people, but it's the least we can do. I mean, I've never been as a woman, I guess I've been afraid to get pulled over because you hear of those police impersonator cases and stuff like that, but certainly not any of the same kind of fear that a mother of some of those children would probably have. So,
right.
Did you watch any of President Biden's address to Congress? It's not a State of the Union, but his congressional address this week.
Yeah, I did not, but I heard he hit it out of the park.
Yeah, I mean, it was very mellow.
And that Ted Cruz took a snooze.
our wonderful Lauren Bobert out of Colorado decided to have a very noisy Mylar blanket to try to distract him. And I thought that was classy as fuck. So. Oh, warning, we cuss on this podcast.
Oh, right. Yeah. I think they know that by now.
Agree. Anywho, Bobbie, any other news stories you want to cover, or should we dig into the awesomeness that is music?
I just want to say I made myself a mint julep
for the Derby.
For the Derby.
It is the Kentucky Derby weekend. I don't participate. I know a few people who are, so happy Derby to you folks.
I don't celebrate either, but Sean Keeney messaged me earlier and asked if I was going to have a mint julep, and I was like, no, I don't have the ingredients for that. I don't think. And then I looked it up, and it's like super easy, and I do have all the ingredients. So, cheers.
You had mint? Just keep that shit around. I want a mojito. I know it's different, but
I have a mint for a verdant lady, which
You're
is
so
a gin,
classy.
which is a gin beverage. Yeah,
Oh,
I enjoy the gin. Mm-hmm.
I like the gin. I'm already trying to plan. Like, we're gonna go out for your birthday. We have about like 2 weeks almost to the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already planning
Birthday
what I'm
for
gonna
you all
drink.
to know is 2 weeks and a day, but we're celebrating in 2 weeks.
Correct. Yeah, we're celebrating the day before because it's a Saturday night.
Yes.
I'll probably just drink gin and tonic and won't be super exciting, but I haven't had a whole lot of alcohol in the last year, so I'm kind of excited to get my drink on.
I can make you a verdant lady.
Next weekend I'm coming down. Oh,
Oh,
by
are
the
you?
way.
Oh, are you? Okay. Okay. Good to know. Spring that on me. Well, I just found out today, like a half hour ago, that Mike's coming down on Monday. So, hey.
Did I know that? Oh yeah, they're going in for
Getting his car tinted.
oh God, see, he's told me that 3 times and I can't remember.
Well
that's
done.
exciting. So I have the house to myself Monday night.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
Well, he's only
it's a
bringing
work
Reese,
night.
right? Listen to us talk, just girl chatting. Girl chatting.
I know this
I'm
is what
sure
happens when we don't see each other for like a week or a week and a half. We have to catch up on all the bullshit.
I'm sure it's fascinating for our viewers.
Okay.
They know.
Bobbie, let's talk. We've decided to cover our top 5 favorite albums. We picked 5 because it's just a nice clean number. I came up with 6, so I guess I have an honorable mention because I did narrow it down to 5. And I just
We already decided
know,
that we were going to have honorable mentions.
Yeah, honorable mentions.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm not basing this on any kind of hardcore music, the production quality and the blah, 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 blah. Like, these are the 5 albums that I listen to start to finish. They maybe represent some important time in my life or some other kind of emotional attachment to it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm by no means a music snob. It's a pretty, probably some people might think maybe a boring list, but you know, it's a fun way for people to get to know us if they don't already know.
Now you know.
In no particular order, why didn't you tell us your first album? Or did you order yours? I didn't order mine.
Well, I mean, to put them on a list, I had to order them.
But I mean, you didn't go like number 1 is not like the favorite. It's just number 1.
No,
okay.
It's not in any particular order.
Okay. Thank
God. However, the first one on my list here that's written down is Baby Darling Dollface Honey by Band of Skulls. Now, I realize that Band of Skulls sounds heavy metal, you know, the kind of music that Dave likes.
Agreed, yeah.
But it's not actually. It is, I mean, they have a little bit of like, I mean, it's more like a
poppy grunge.
No, I wouldn't even say that. Like, there's some of it that's like classic rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I Know What I Am. I would kind of consider that like a classic rock and roll song
Yeah.
ish. And then you also have Dull Fame, and that's a bluesy song. So it's that's one of the albums that I could just sit and listen to on repeat all the time. I don't know if there was anything necessarily specific going on in my life.
We were
Yeah.
hanging out a lot when that album came out.
Mhm. We
It
were.
feels very much like a Potter Girls album, because I almost put it on my list. When I passed
Did
it, I was
you?
like, I mean, there's some really amazing songs. I don't listen to the album start to finish like you do, but I mean, that I Know What I Am, what it's got to be, that song might be my top favorite 10 songs of all time. It's catchy as fuck.
It's it's my favorite song. I think it's safe to say it's number one on my top 25 playlist by like a lot. So that's definitely like my favorite song.
You definitely think
Yeah,
of you and me when I hear that album. Like it just feels
yeah.
like a you and me album. So it definitely feels like that
I
post married,
remember,
before kids.
yeah, Borders, date nights.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember just driving down the street and we would listen to that and like jam out to it. Yeah. It's
Yep.
a great album. Highly recommend it. And just so you guys know, we will, thanks Sean Keeney for the heads up or for the tip. We will be making a list of what these are and posting them in case you are ever interested and want to follow up with them. Yes. Okay. How about you, Christy? What's first on your list in no particular order?
You know, you're right. It is pretty telling that the first one you write down probably is important to you. It's like, it's not in particular order, but you definitely wrote one down first. So it definitely meant something. Mine would be Jack Johnson, Brushfire Fairy Tales.
Oh,
And I know why it's important to me. First of all, it's just a cool album, like start to finish. It's mellow.
It's a really good album. I really love that album too. Really
and
good.
that was like the soundtrack was my first solo trip. I did a vacation out to Florida with a family friend. She was there. So like I traveled by myself. I think it was like 19. Just a very influential time in my life. It fit the soundtrack because I was in Florida. Like it just meant something to me. And yeah, still to this day, I can listen to every song on that album, start to finish. Yeah, yep. mine's a little. I mean, everybody knows who Jack Johnson is. Mine's a little more commercially known, although he's not as popular as he used to be. But he's still got a pretty good following.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just, I'm glad you like it too. It's just like, it's mellow and it's just cool. And like some of the songs are like a little pick me up and some of them are a little more serious, but it speaks to me, man.
It's just a really mellow album.
Just good sound to it. You know, when you hear the first few chords of that first song, it's just like, yeah, this is happening.
I remember
Bobbie, what's your number two?
Well, before I do that, I remember driving in your old Honda Civic.
Greenie.
Yeah. And you were listening to that album. And it was one of those CDs that you like never took out of your car. It was always in there. So we would always listen to it. I mean, not always, but often listen to it. Yeah.
You know, this makes me think we're going to have a lot of memories associated with each other's top 5 lists.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
Well, my next album, you've only, I don't want to say recently been enjoying them. You've always liked them, but I think that current political climate has made you enjoy them and appreciate them more. And that would be Fight with Tools by the Flowbots. That is a damn good album that I legit could just, I mean, I go through it all the time. It came out in 2007 and it was right towards the end of, W. And their big song, Handlebars, was very reflective of the W presidency. And back in 2007, I was like, oh my God, yes, he's the worst. W is awful. It's terrible. Oh my God. Yes. Fight with tools. Yeah. Little did we know that it was
Little
about
did
to get,
know.
it was about
Much.
to get a million times worse. A million times worse. And it continues to speak to me throughout the years. And there's a song in there about racism and about a woman in the South in the 60s who went above the racism, and how people in the South didn't like people who fought that and confronted it. And it's a damn good album. It is rap, and I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's fantastic. It really, really is.
No, you're right. There is another one where I can't get into all the songs, but like the 3 songs I listen to the most are like, I still get emotional sometimes, like listening to those songs. It is shocking how relevant the lyrics still are from 2007. But like from a different context. So it definitely has stayed a very timely album. I will give the Flowbots
I would actually argue that they're more relevant today.
Oh yeah.
Than they were in 2007. I mean,
yes.
they were
like,
definitely
Stand
relevant.
Up. I think Stand Up is my favorite song. And it's just like, and you know, Cameron's into the Flowbots. He really digs them. We went and saw the Flowbots, didn't we, Bobbie?
I've seen them a couple times.
We saw them at the Mile High Music Festival.
I stayed and watched them for a long time, but you ditched them for John Mayer.
I did. Totally worth it. John Mayer was awesome.
John Mayer.
Anyway.
Yes, we did see them.
What about our most recent trip to the Flowbots concert, Bobbie?
I almost kicked a chick's ass is what happened.
She did. She's not even lying.
No, it was this close. I was about to come to blows with somebody. She was drunk and annoying. And by the end of the show, there was a huge gap between her and like people in front of her. So like there was I would say a good 5-6 people lengths.
Oh yeah, no, for
least.
A concert, yeah, you could have squeezed 5 or 6 people in there easy.
But she was like this to Christy. She was back up to Christy, and then wouldn't let anybody pass her. Like clearly up in Christy's
running her fucking mouth.
Oh, she kept doing that too. Yeah, she wanted to start a fight, and she actually was like, "Oh," and I just rolled my eyes and turned away because I was like, "I am not going to get into it with this bitch." But it came real close. It came real close. Anyway,
thank you for standing up. See,
fight with tools.
There you go. My number 2, Billie Eilish. This is my most recent album on the list. When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? That's
I don't have anything recent in my list.
I know. I was actually a little shocked that I did because my oldest one is like middle school. But Billie Eilish is killing it for me. I think she's amazingly talented. That album I can do start to finish over and over again. Different range of emotions. I heard she's awesome in concert. I'd like to see her, but the tickets were outrageously expensive last time she was out here. So yeah, I may or may not go. You know how I am with concerts.
Expensive?
No, like ridiculous. Like $250 for the shitty seats. See? Ridiculously expensive.
Where?
Red Rocks, Pepsi Center.
Pepsi Center?
Well, now I don't remember. I don't remember now.
Well, that's shit.
But yeah, I know you haven't really gotten into Billie Eilish too much, but that album, it makes me feel young again. I feel like I'm cool because I'm really into Billie Eilish. She's got a lot of respect from the other, like Dave Grohl's a big fan of Billie Eilish. So I mean, she's definitely she's got some street cred, Bobbie.
Nice. Street cred is important.
Hey, you want to take a break and hear some of our listeners' favorites?
Oh, sure.
We'll take a quick break here. We've got 2 albums down, 3 albums to go. My mom is a big fan of Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. Definitely timely for her age group. Pink Floyd's fine.
Are you calling her old, Christy? You're
No, she's middle-ish. I just Pink Floyd's fine. Obviously, they're very talented and made a big impact on the music industry, but I mean, I don't dig it the way a lot of people do. Mom also enjoys John Denver, Rocky Mountain High. That doesn't surprise me at all. Mom is a John Denver stan, as the kids call it now. What else do we got here? Dave, big fan of Pantera, Far Beyond Drive. I couldn't even tell you a damn Pantera song. I'm sorry.
I must order them. That's
because I must
Dave.
order them. Yeah, the list guy needs to order them. Shocking. Mom also likes Jimmy Buffett A1A. I would say Jack Johnson's almost like the less cool version of Jimmy Buffett. So Mom and I have similar tastes. Mike says, ask her about her Jason Mraz CD on her Mazda. I think he meant in her Mazda. That's why Mike doesn't like Jason Mraz, because every time he was in my car, there was a Jason Mraz CD in there. I think that's what he's talking about.
Was it the
No, don't try to guess. I might spoil the list.
Oh.
Dave also likes The Perfect Circle. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Joy Division? That kind of surprises me. That's old school punk.
That is.
Good for you, Dave. I like
He
that.
might have got that. I bet he got that from Marcus Parks. That's just a guess. Perfect Circle. Okay. Mom also likes Garth Brooks. Did I say that?
I believe you did.
Roping in the Wind. Yeah, I mean, Garth Brooks is good. I guess just none of his music ever hit the way some of these other ones do. Okay. Guys, keep posting your favorites. We'll take another break in between our list and go over some of your favorites. Make sure you didn't miss any. All right, Bobbie, what's next on your list?
So I think I actually have ordered these.
And you inadvertently ordered them, didn't you?
Inadvertently, yeah. I think it's, well, like you said, I think it's indicative, like you put them down. Anyway, next on my list is Riot by Paramore.
Another Potter Girls album to me. That's very...
Is it really?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very much a Potter Girls album.
I have specific memories, and like I'll come to that in a second, like associated with that album, and I had that in my car and I'd play it over and over and over and over again, and I was tutoring when I was really listening to that album. It's not my dogs this time.
It's near my... I have the window open because it's hot in here and the dogs are...
Not my dogs this time. So yeah, and like I remember like turning on the car when I was leaving tutoring, or sitting in the car waiting for my tutorees to show up and getting frustrated because half the time they didn't show up and I was just chilling in my car. But one of the big memories that I have with that is I read Twilight when I was really big into that album. Mm-hmm. And you have your feelings about Twilight, whatever. And I'm talking about the listeners, because Christy, I know you enjoyed those books too, but maybe not as much as some people have. But those books were great, and they rekindled my love of reading. Like I went years without picking up a book. Mm-hmm. And then fucking Christy made me read Twilight. She didn't make me. I was like, okay, fine, I'll read it.
Okay, fine.
And oh my God, I got sucked in. And it was I love those books like that. Like I credit Twilight with rekindling my love of reading. Like,
me
yes,
too.
It's young.
Mm-hmm.
It's young adult, sure. Like, are vampires glittery? In her world, they are, but they just like it. It was a powerful kind of experience for me, because it was like, oh, I love reading again. I love reading again, and it was like I think that year I read like almost a book a week. So I was almost at like 52 books that year. And it was a big deal. And each song on that album correlates to me anyway.
Yeah.
Something from that series. And some of them are just you and me songs that we enjoyed because
it was that same time frame, that 20s. We were in our 20s.
yeah.
Just young and free, and no children tying us down every night.
Yeah.
No, I love that album. It's fantastic. I'm right there with you. I once you said it reminded, like, it correlated with like Twilight. I was like, yes, it is the Twilight album. Yeah, good vibes. It's a solid album. I probably should actually add it to my music. I don't think I have any Paramore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was all on my old iTunes with my iPod. It's not the new iTunes with your iPhone. And yeah. Number 3 for me, this goes back to high school. This is very formative, puberty related album. That would be Fiona Apple, Tidal. This I had in my Discman, not my car, my Discman, all of the time. I think when I opened it Christmas morning, because I got it for Christmas, I remember it very clearly. I think I almost cried. I was so happy to have it. It was just so like dark and moody. And there's 2 or 3 songs from that album that if I have my, little fantasy, if I could actually sing, I would surprise people at like a talent show or karaoke. It would be one of the Fiona Apple songs because she's in my range. I'm very much alto. And I just, even to this day, I still play those songs. I know every single word, start to finish of that album. It reminds me of my friends from school, and eating, fighting with your friends, and my friend Christy and I used to walk around Silver Creek because that was a cool thing to do back then. You'd swim in the pool and then maybe you'd walk around just wandering the creepy halls forever, and it was Fiona Apple in my ear the whole time. So it probably sums up high school for me. Just emotional. I was a very emotional teenager. For my mom to correct. I was
angsty.
Not super angsty. I definitely had my dark, moody days. But
wasn't
always
she
very
angsty?
Yes, she's very angsty. And you would be surprised to find out that I'm have always been very dramatic. And so it fits. I know. People are shocked to find out about that. I know.
Yeah, the song where she's in the bathtub. What is that? That's not Criminal. Thank you. I'm like, that's not Shadow Boxer. Duh. And anyway. Yeah. Very dark music video. She's in the tub. And I don't mean like
the first
I don't mean like dark as in like dark and morbid and macabre. I mean like it was literally dark.
Yeah, they had like a spotlight, like there's like people in a house and she's in the bathtub, and it was like you would only see parts of what was going on. It was a very like sexy album. Like I had like TLC and Salt and Pepper, but like this was like a different version of like those teenage hormones. Let's catch in with our crew here, Bobbie. Hold on. Dave said, I guess correctly, sort of. He did already like Joy Division, but Marcus Parks, he's part of the last podcast on the Left Crew. He has a podcast, No Dogs in Space. I've been meaning to listen. I think he said he was doing Beastie Boys recently, so I definitely want to catch that series. So yeah, that Marcus Parks did rekindle his love of Joy Division. So I wasn't completely right, but I also was kind of right. Mom likes Steely Dan.
Right, but you weren't wrong.
Yeah, I was rightish. Steely Dan, Aja, She did hers in no particular order. She's with us, disorderly. Stacy enjoys Jewish Elvis. Neil Diamond. I think of Neil Diamond. I remember my mom cleaning the house. She wrote, I don't know how often she did that. It would have been an album on a record player, but I definitely remember Neil Diamond playing in our house too, Stacy. Metallica, Justice for All was his first heavy metal album. Yeah, I like Metallica Black Album, which tells you I'm not a real Metallica fan, because real Metallica fans don't like the Black Album. So, Mom says, what? You're dramatic? Ha ha ha. Springsteen, Born to Run. I bet that shows up on my mom's favorite list too, Stacy. All right, Bobbie, what's next on your list? Yeah, it's your turn. Yeah.
21, Adele.
That's recent.
2011.
Hey, 10 years. And she's like still like super relevant.
I just love that album. I mean, I love all of her albums, but that one, there's just something about that one that.
What songs are on that album?
Rolling in the Deep, Fire, Set Fire to the Rain, Feel My Love.
Oh, I have that song. Reese likes that song.
It's just a great album. And the fact that I got to see her live when she came through a few years ago was amazing. It was, I mean, like, God, talk about concerts. Like, that would be super high up there on concerts. She's just an amazing performer. And those, there's one song, it's called Hometown Glory. It's not on 21, actually. It's on her first one, 19. And when she was playing it here, like the song starts and she's like walking down the streets in London and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then like it comes to like the chorus, like the crescendo, and the screen changes to downtown Denver. And like everybody was like, like, I mean, it was one of those like where you're just like, oh my God, that's so amazing. Like I mean, obviously she did that for every town that she went to, but I think that kind of speaks to her and how she wants to relate to her fans. And I just love Adele. I think she's fantastic. And that album is pretty high up there. I jam out to Rolling in the Deep quite a bit, actually. Yeah, you had my heart in your hand. I threw it all away.
Bobbie, we're so cool.
I know. I
just feel like that just emphasized the amount of street cred that we must carry.
Yeah.
Y'all might be surprised to find this is so low on my list, since we apparently subconsciously ordered them. I know you've all been waiting to hear when Jason Mraz would appear on my list, and it is We Sing, We Dance, We Steal Things. It's a wonderful album from start to finish. All my favorite songs are on that album. He's got other good songs off of other albums, but especially like the acoustic version of that album is really my favorite, but it was released with all the other songs, so it's still the same album. I mean, everybody's heard me talk about him relentlessly, so I probably don't need to go into it too much, but I like it. Mike can't stand that album. It's probably his least favorite because I listen to it so much. So thoughts? You're not surprised. You have kindly joined me at many a Jason Mraz concert.
I have.
Sometimes voluntarily.
Sometimes voluntarily, yes. I'm trying to think which one did you want to go to? And I was like, okay.
Was that the Red Rock show with Becca?
I don't think so. I think it was
we saw him at Mile High Music Festival. I think that was the same one we saw Flowbots and John Mayer.
It was.
That was actually before I really got obsessed. So we actually left before the end of his set to go see somebody else too. Which I regret because I remember there were not a lot of people there and I could have got right up on stage. Not on stage, like almost on stage, right up front where I like to be now.
It was so funny. It was so funny because I remember
you're gonna do the call again, aren't you?
The call?
The call.
No.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Where you burst into tears on the phone.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to do that.
Okay.
You can if you want to, but no, I wasn't going to.
We're good. Mike says we left for Jack Johnson. We left Jason Mraz to go watch Jack Johnson. That's funny. Jack Johnson was higher on the list. So.
I remember we were sitting there and Jason Mraz does a cover of Summer Breeze, and it's a fantastic cover. It's a fantastic cover.
I know.
And this young hipster girl was like, "Oh, I love this song." And I remember going to Mike and Christy. I was like, "Do you think she knows that this isn't his song?" And she was like, "Oh, what?" And I'm like, "It's not his song, chick. It's not." It's a great song.
Very good version, very good cover, but yeah, not his song.
Not his song.
Actually, I think my mom said that's one of her favorite Jason Mraz songs is that cover. Sorry, I'm distracted by comments on the Facebook page. Yeah. So anyway, what's next on your list?
This would be so this would be my number 5.
Oh, should we take another break before we get to our 5s?
I would say probably, yes.
Dave says the Downward Spiral 9 Inch Nails, greatest work ever created by Trent Reznor, who is an undisputed musical genius. Okay, they're going to do a deep dive on that later, so stay tuned for that.
It's a great album, though.
Really?
I only know it for 2 songs.
I bet I know one of the songs.
Closer.
Yes.
That's a great song.
Oh, yes. Mom took us very literal. She listed actual vinyl albums. Mom, I love you. So it was by Seals and Crofts, Summer Breeze. Yeah, but Mom, do you like the Jason Mraz cover? Mike, are you not going to put any of his list? I bet Mike would pick a Tupac album, a Dave Matthews album.
Wu-Tang.
He might. Wu-Tang might be on his list. Maybe Perfect Circle.
Really?
He might agree on the Perfect Circle. Or 9 Inch Nails. I wonder if how many of those I got right.
Have I ever told you that Chris Cornell had the most beautiful blue eyes?
Oh, did you see him in person?
I did.
God, Higher Truth by Chris Cornell is one of my Cameron and I's favorite. I burst into tears listening to it, but
he was one of the nicest celebrities I've ever met. And I met a few of them working at Argus because I used to work backstage at Fiddler's Green, and worked the floor at Avalanche Nuggets concerts at Pepsi Center. So I've had many brushes with celebrities, and Chris Cornell was one of the nicest. He leaned against the door jamb in the hallway and stood out there and talked to some of us for a while. And he was just his blue eyes, man, they were beautifully bright. He was just genuine soul, that one. You could tell in the 5 minutes, that I spoke with him. So
sometimes you can't tell. That is all it takes. Higher Truth might be in my top 10 favorite songs because it just will break me every time I listen to it. Mike
who else was really cool? Tone Loc. Tone Loc was awesome. He gave me a kiss on the cheek and said, "Bye, baby girl."
Girl.
Tone Loc was awesome.
Yes, Mom does.
My favorite celebrity encounter.
That Summer Breeze. Is it? I can think of two. Was it the Hot Yoga or was that?
Oh no, it was absolutely Hot Yoga.
Absolutely Hot Yoga. I'll follow up with you on that. Mike is trying to keep the boys quiet for us, so he's missing some things. Mike, I was just trying to guess your top 5 albums, and I think it was going to be Tupac, Bobby threw in Wu-Tang, definitely Dave Matthews, maybe Perfect Circle. Didn't I guess another one for him?
Snoop? Chronic? You don't think Chronic would be there?
I mean, he loves Snoop, but I don't know that it'd be one of his top 5 favorite albums.
I remember when he blasted Chronic.
Yeah, I bet. Talk about angst.
Murder Was the Case. I know that's not on Chronic, but yeah, man, he was a gangster white boy from Aurora Town. That's what he was.
All right, I'll let you tell your hot yoga story in a little bit because I promise it will be relevant. What's your number 5?
My number 5, and actually, I think this is gonna catch a lot of people by surprise, is Every Day by Dave Matthews.
I'm surprised.
I knew you would be. And wow. I'm surprised that I haven't heard Mike yelling from the other room. Like, what?
There's a delay. He's I see the teleprompter. He's just now hearing you say this, so he might come running in.
So Every Day, Dave Matthews, came out in 2001, which is the year that I graduated from high school. And I worked at Blockbuster my senior year of high school into my first years of college. And first of all, loved that Blockbuster job. One of my favorite jobs of all time. Loved it. But The Space Between was on one of the trailer tapes. And it, those damn trailer tapes, sometimes like if we didn't get new ones, it was like, oh my God. Like there was one time I think we had the same trailer tape for like 2 or 3 months, and we were all about ready to take it out back and like shoot it. But The Space Between was on one of the trailer tapes, and it was one that I never got tired of. I listened to that song over and over again. Sometimes I would stop and watch the music video. And then after my graduation, after my senior year, I went to Virginia, and that was an album or a CD that I took with me. And I listened to that CD over and over and over again for a couple of years, actually. But very much reminds me of Washington, D.C., 2001. And that was also
20 years ago. Just
fuck you. That was also the time that Rick told me that Dave Matthews was his college town band, that he would go see him at the bar. And, yeah. So it's like.
And Rick's one of the few people you can actually believe he did that. A lot of people claim they used to follow Dave Matthews back then. I absolutely believe that Rick was part of that crowd. Absolutely.
He totally was. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people are full of bullshit. Rick is not.
He's not, no. And like to this day, there are still songs on that album that I can just stop and listen to. And I think that's a fantastic album. So surprised you all. Ha!
You did. I have every ounce of respect for Dave Matthews. Jason Mraz is actually a huge fan of Dave Matthews. He used to open for him a few times back in the day. I've seen him in concert. I like him. I just can't get to the love. I can't love him like my husband worships him.
Okay. No, I'm gonna cut in here real quick. Like, there's fan love and respect, and there's like fandom obsession, like you and Jason Mraz, and then there's Mike. I love you, Mike. Oh my God, you're a little obsessed.
I don't know. I think me and Jason Mraz, I might beat Mike.
You do.
I mean, we can give Mike a lot of shit, but I know I'm obsessive.
You are to Jason Mraz what Mike is to Dave Matthews. You're both equal in your crazy fandomness.
He has yet to travel to see Dave Matthews.
Well, clearly he's not a true fan.
Well, I'll leave that up to you. My number five is this came out when I was in middle school, so it is ancient. I had a hard time between this and my honorable mention, but I finally went back, I looked at all the songs, and I was like, nope. Like, even just reading the names of the songs brought back all sorts of emotions for me. But Counting Crows, August and Everything After, just hugely influential in my life. I can't even describe why a whole lot, other than, you go through a lot in middle school. We moved a lot. My 6th grade was a different place than my 7th grade. So that was hard enough. And then just being the new girl at school in 7th grade was just difficult. And this album just, it got me through those preteen years. And it's not even super angsty. I just think it's a really good album. Thoughts?
Mr. Jones and Me.
Yeah.
One night I sang the whole song in my head in my dream. I woke up and I was like, I did all of the lyrics with this. It's one of those things where you're like, and I hadn't listened to that song in years. Not years, but it had been a long time. It wasn't like it was fresh in my memory, but nice. It was just a weird thing to wake up and know that you sang a song in your dream that you hadn't heard in several days.
Several days or several months? Okay, days, years, months?
I don't think it was quite years, but it was definitely a good while. Yeah.
Okay, so we made it through our 5. Let's take a quick break and we'll do some honorable mentions. Let's see where we got here. So Bobbie, you got lots of agreement from Dave and Mike. The Chronic was the shit. Best rap album ever made. Mike's number 1 is Crash by Dave Matthews Band. I bet he's ordering them in a specific order, would be my guess, if I know my husband. Let's see what else we got here. Mom says you're right about my obsession. Sorry. Mike did say Tupac, All Eyes on Me. The Chronic. Number 4 is Everyday, Dave Matthews. So he's got 2 Dave Matthews on his top 5, and you two share one. And yet he never invites you to the concerts. That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Number 5, Mike. Follow the Leader by Korn. Oh, I forgot about that album. That would have to be an honorable mention for me. Follow the Leader. That's about as dark as Christy gets, but that's a damn good album. Hey, look, Rob Roberts on the listening to the podcast. He's like a super fan of all of the Truckee Pacific podcast. So I'm glad to see Rob here. Rob, let us know your top 5 albums. You're catching us on the end here. We're on our honorable mentions. Bobbie, what kind of honorable mentions you got on your list?
Minutes to Midnight by Linkin Park.
Very good.
That's also 2007, also towards the end of W's presidency. Quite a few political songs on there. There's one song where they talk about soldiers going to war and how your president can't put 2 words together, W and Trump. I mean, really. And it just gives me goosebumps every time I hear it. It's an amazing song. So that's definitely one of my honorable mentions. White Rabbits.
I almost put White Rabbits on there too. Which album?
It's Frightening.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Not Impressed. I can't remember what album that's off of, but it's not It's Frightening. But
that's like Pilot or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And then I have like the Kills.
I almost did the kill. I did.
That's
Except
funny.
like I've been
I'm not
skipping some of the
surprising.
songs when they pop up.
Mhm.
Just because I'm not in the mood for it. But man, the Kills, White Rabbits, Paramore, like those are Potter Girls. Like we could come up with our own Potter Girls soundtrack.
I mean, we have a
Um,
playlist. I mean, we have
I know.
yeah.
Awesome. Anything else?
Um, a throwback. This is probably as old as it gets as far as like my top, like whatever, and honorable mentions would be Jagged Little Pill.
You stole one of my honorable mentions.
So there is a duplicate.
There is. What I mean, it's a complete album.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. Like I think what 70% of those songs were all singles at some point, like, weren't they?
Oh,
It wasn't the whole
she had
album,
at
but it was
least
pretty
five.
damn close. Yeah.
At least five.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, fantastic album.
Fantastic.
Well, so you took that one from me. The other one I had that was so close, but Counting Crows kicked him out of the list was Maroon 5, Songs About Jane. I think it's a really good album. I love like some of those like Harder to Breathe, like it just yeah. So tell us about your hot yoga story.
First of all, I am in complete agreement. Songs About Jane is a fantastic album. It's amazing. That would be probably one of my honorable mentions as well. So I don't know if you all are aware, but Adam Levine is fucking hot. Especially after he does hot yoga.
How would
And
you know that, Bobbie? That sounds like a very specific thing to know.
He does hot yoga after every concert. Yes, he does. And I was working backstage at Fiddler's Green when he did hot yoga after his concert. And I think I need a minute. He comes out of his dressing room and he's sweating. He's got like the gray sweatpants and the wife beater tank top. And he was like 2 arm lengths away from me. Like I couldn't reach out and touch him, but I could have if I moved. And I was trying so damn hard not to stare. I really was. So I'm sure I was so not obvious. Yes, I was. Because I was standing there and I was like this.
I bet your ears were like as red as like a cherry tomato.
I know.
It's like oh my God, don't look, I'm looking. Don't look, I'm gonna look.
Be professional, Bobbie, be professional. Oh my God, he's so fucking hot and he's sweating. Oh my God, that was I still think about that moment. Beautiful.
You seem to be like reliving it at the moment.
I was actually. Yeah.
The only other honorable mention I have besides Jagged Little Pill and Songs About Jane would be Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. And that was just more angsty teenage stuff. It's a double album, so it's very long. So that's why it didn't make it in the top 5, because I do skip some songs on there. But recently, I've been trying to find some more music that Cameron can get into. He's very into trying to listen to new things. And I should actually tell you stuff I'm going to add to his new playlist. You'll find it interesting. And I just like, oh my God, he needs to know who Smashing Pumpkins is. So I listened to that album again and I was like, oh God, this is still good. So we were listening to Alexa today, and I've been just listening to 90s alternative, and he wants Marilyn Manson, Beautiful People, added to the playlist. He really liked No Doubt.
Ooh,
He's
good.
getting into
Good
Red
job,
Hot
Kim.
Chili Peppers, which would make my little brother very happy because that for a long time, Red Hot Chili Peppers were my brother's favorite band. I don't know if it still is. He really liked Offspring. And Bobbie, he liked Alanis Morissette, and that's why she was an honorable mention, because I was like, how could I not think about Jack?
Nice. Good job, little man.
I know.
That's awesome.
He's got and they'd yell at me. They're like, Mom, stop skipping songs. And I said, then tell Alexa to stop playing Pearl Jam because I fucking hate Pearl Jam.
I hate you too. She literally
see.
yelled that when we were in the car one time, apropos of nothing, unless we turned on the car and U2 was just ending. And I was like, oh my God, Christy, what did I do to you? And then she was like, you too, I hate you too.
I skipped. My mom liked Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
I saw him perform that. I stood on the edge of the stage while he performed that good song.
I'd like to see Elton John in concert.
Saw him and Billy Joel. That was a pretty cool.
Stacey's mom is listening to Andrea Bocelli. You've seen him, haven't you? You and your mom?
I have not seen him, no, but
okay.
But mom loves him, loves Andrea Bocelli. She's a fan.
Okay, our listener Rob Robert has his. Let's check out his. He's got some good ones here. Beatles White Album, which I know my Aunt Betsy said on the podcast last night when I was talking to Dave. So that's a couple of people. Obviously, the Beatles are classic. Houses of the Holy. Is that Led Zeppelin? The Chronic, we got another Chronic. Metallica and Justice for All, another Metallica. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. Yeah, no, these seem to be very popular albums. I don't disagree with any of them. Again, I like Metallica Black Album, and I get shit for that all the time, but it is what it is. Is the playlist on Spotify? We could do a Spotify playlist.
We totally could. Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mom thinks that Red Hot Chili Peppers is still Ben's favorite. I actually don't think it is. I really think I thought it still was, and it's not. But Ben doesn't listen and support me at all, so he is not here to either confirm nor deny. Mm-hmm. Although he did babysit the kids for a couple hours a day, so I can't completely shit on my little brother. I worked some overtime today, and he took him out to lunch, and they went to the park. So he's still a good guy.
Well, yeah, of course he is. So funny story about Red Hot Chili Peppers. Our very good friend Jennifer does not like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and will often, for reasons that even she doesn't know, confuse them with the Rolling Stones.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I have yet to figure it out because it's one of those puzzles where I want to figure it out. I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet. But
okay, that makes more sense. I was like, why is Dave asking if the playlist is on Spotify? Because we said we had a playlist. No, we literally have like a spiral notebook where we just wrote down like 15 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. We
call it the notebook. The notebook because it has Bobbie and Christy memories in it.
It does. It's got like our one-liners and some of our songs.
So we have a playlist in that notebook, but I put it on my phone as well.
We'll make it a Spotify playlist.
We can, yes, absolutely. And we, like I said at the top of the show, we will make a Facebook post about all the albums that we discussed today too. So if you are ever interested in any of those albums, wanting to listen to it, check it out. If you're not familiar with Band of Skulls, you're probably not. You can check them out. We'll put it all up there. Yeah. And White Rabbits, I hate to say it. I'm very sad to say it actually, but they're no more.
They are no more. Which is sad because they were a good group.
They were amazing.
Doesn't mean you can't still listen to the awesome music, and we'll appreciate what they put out.
Yep.
Yeah, no, what a fun show. We hit the hour mark, which surprises me. We're not usually quite so long-winded, but man, music's just such an important part of my life. Even though I'm not musical, I don't always know the right words to express my feelings when it comes to music. But I'm definitely one of those people that I feel like there's a soundtrack for life, and certain songs just fit the certain moment and can just reignite memories and feelings. And it's just so important. And I'm glad that Cameron so far is definitely seeming to pick up that same
Yeah, that's
feeling.
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, and I agree. Like I absolutely feel like everybody has a soundtrack to their life. Like, you know, the TLC album, like that's middle school for me. Like that encompasses seventh, eighth grade. So does, well, Jagged Little Pill is like eighth grade into ninth grade. I mean, well, actually seventh, eighth, and ninth. Like it encompassed a long time. So yeah, I mean, I think that's true. Everybody has a soundtrack.
Yeah.
And I enjoy talking about music, and like, because it does kind of give you a peek into who a person is, I think.
Absolutely.
So I just enjoy talking about it and introducing people to new music. I used to be
that is definitely, you're pretty known for that in our group, especially being like the go-to, like, hey, Bobbie, I need some new recommendations. I know a lot of people definitely come to you for that. Bobbie has often recommended music to me and I blow her off, and then 5 years later decide, hey, Bobbie, have you heard this before? And she fucking hates it when I do that. But I told you, you're very important to me in my life. I'm sorry if I don't. We've gone over this before. I'm super excited for our next episode. It's going to be, again, we're going to take a little break. But in 2 weeks, oh, that's the week. Oh, but it'll be Thursday before the weekend. Yes. Okay.
Of
your birthday. And our first girls' night out in like a year and a half. So that's very exciting.
With all of the girls.
So in 2 weeks, we're going to have Dave is going to join us on the podcast. He's going to be a host. We're going to play a little game. Our friend Jennifer worked on some questions. Thank you, Jennifer. I know you worked really hard on that. We're going to get Dave to read us the questions. It's going to be a whole best friend quiz thing. We have no knowledge of the questions. So
Jennifer came up with them in kind of a rush. She did a fantastic job. The plan was to do it today, but it didn't happen. So it didn't happen. But Jennifer worked really hard to get those done by today. And Jennifer, we love you. Thank you so much. And we can't wait for I'm honestly super excited about this game. I can't wait to see the questions.
Like how fun this was. Like, we didn't share our list with each other, and it was a lot of fun. We're like, oh my God, yes.
I mean, we had kind of talked about some of them, but like,
yeah, but
not even, I think probably there were definitely some surprises this time. So
definitely.
I'm very excited for Jennifer's questions. I can't wait to see what she throws at us. I think it'll be fun.
Agreed. Awesome. Well, thanks for being with me tonight, Bobbie.
Thank you.
I think we'll catch up later. Dave, is there any plugs I need to plug other than our show in 2 weeks? I'm trying to think. I know what.
Well, yes, there is.
Funny
yes.
You always look up when you do that.
Jesus, is that you? No, it's just Dave.
I'm like, huh.
Well, we do actually have a few things. Unfortunately, our co-host and my partner, Chucky Pacific, James, his father is in the last stages of ALS. May is ALS Awareness Month, and so May is ALS month for Chucky Pacific as well. We're setting up a fundraiser that will go to the Rocky Mountain chapter of the ALS Association. We're going to have a bunch of shows related. We're going to have one big fundraiser in the next couple weeks where we have a bunch of comedians on talking about comedy. We're trying to get your friend on, Christy, but those people don't really answer emails very well. So, but we have a bunch of comedians in the Truckee Pacific family, so we're going to come together and talk comedy and have a good time talking about that stuff, even though ALS is a very serious thing. So that's something to look forward to on Truckee Pacific. And since I'm here, make sure you go and get Caldera on Amazon. Thank you, Mike.
It's on Audible now, isn't it?
It is on Audible now. Thank you.
It is on Audible. Hey,
Who was your Audible narrator, Dave?
Caldera is narrated by Trevor Wilson, and then my Race Through Space, Event Horizon 2, is narrated by Micah Cunningham. It's the first time I had a lady read my Race Through Space books, and she did an amazing job. So definitely check those out. Audible, Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com. Thank you for letting me hawk my shit on your show. Appreciate that.
Well, we owe you because you're going to be a game show host in 2 weeks. So thank you.
Of course.
All right. Bobbie, I love you.
I love you too.
Good
Thank
night.
you, people, for watching. Good night.